Weird science is the revolution.
Hello, all you weirdos. Jim here, and welcome to yet another new week of comics. It's like they keep rolling like Limp Bizkit used to sing. And if you are new to the show, let me explain what we do here. These are my most anticipated comics, but what I really enjoy is everybody tell me what they're looking forward to. And in that, these aren't all books that I think are great or will be great. Some new number ones. I'm not Nostradamus. I'm not doing quatrains and thinking of the future. I'm just anticipating because they're new, and there's always the hope that they will be good, because as my dad once told me, if you're not full of hope, you're full of something else. And in his case, that was probably like 3 hamburgers and 2 cheesesteaks. He was a big man. But with all this, these are books that I hope end up being good. But some of these aren't books that, like, they're not hitting as well as they should. And I'm hoping this is the week that they do. I'm talking about Incredible Hulk. But with all that all around, let me know what you're looking forward to, even if it's the exact books that I am. And we can kind of discuss them in the comics, because it's one of those things when you end up having this ends up giving me a little lay of the land of what people are interested in, and may actually make me review something new on the channel, things like that. But also, it lets everybody know what's coming out, but also maybe some hidden gems that they didn't know about. But I'm going to give you the title of these books, the creative team, the price, and the solicit. And we'll start at DC, as we always do. DC Comics. I have 2 DC Comics books here, and it starts with Action Comics, number 1064, written by Joshua Williamson, art by Rafa Sandoval, $4.99. I will apologize, too, before I get into the solicit. I have not slept for 2 days, and I am struggling. So please forgive me if things go off the rails. That's another thing for new listeners or watchers, because this is also on YouTube, right? Watchers. House of Brainiac Part 1, Brainiac Attacks. Kind of rhymes there. Might even be an idea for a song. Brainiac's Lobo army invades Metropolis in an action-packed oversized issue, hence the extra $1, $4.99. The super family and all the heroes of Metropolis join the fight, but will they be enough to hold off Brainiac's lethal and crazed soldiers? Kind of think they will eventually. Can Superman and Lex learn what Brainiac's searching for? Kind of hope so. He's not bottling up Metropolis, so what is he collecting instead? Maybe smooches? Maybe compliments, right? I don't know what he's collecting. Now, here's a little bit of a trivia. Does anybody remember the last person who tried to bottle up Metropolis? You're right, it was John Kent in Future State. That didn't go well, right? But I'm looking forward to this. It is the next step towards absolute power, and I hope that Joshua Williamson, though he tends to waver a bit in the middle of stories and then kind of ends with a whimper, I hope that this is really strong, because I don't see the hype for absolute power, and this is leading into that. So hopefully that will be the case, and we're all gung-ho. Man, I love Amanda Waller. We haven't seen enough of her, is what you'll say then. You know, instead of being a negative Nancy and like, everything's Waller. It's kind of true, though, right? But I like the setup to an event. And we haven't had that at DC for a while, and even like a Joshua Williamson himself. Was there a lot of setup to his Dark Crisis? And was there really any real setup to his Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths? You know, his 2 big events? But Night Terrors, things like that, with a K. Not really set up, and I do like that, though. They might be going a little too hard on Amanda Waller and kind of, you know, getting people a little off on it. But hopefully the House of Brainiac will hit. We'll move on to the next book, and the second of 2 books at DC that I'm talking about. And this book I really do like. It is Green Lantern, number 10, written by Jeremy Adams, art by Zermanico and Kevin Maguire. Kevin Maguire, it's a Guy Gardner story in the backup, so that makes sense. And I do like having Jeremy Adams write the front up and the backup, and not have somebody like a Sam Humphries, because he's kind of a hack, and I don't like him. But $4.99, House of Brainiac tie-in. With Hal's ring newly recharged, he leaves Earth for Oa to uncover the mystery surrounding the central power batteries. If you're playing at home, you realize that was the last issue. All right, anything new here? Well, yes, I'm glad you asked. While Carol makes a choice that will change your destiny forever. Is that marriage? Is that Star Sapphire? Is it like some new, like, smart pants coat or something? Coat pants? What do they call that? Dress pants? See? Off the rails. Don't distract me. Plus, Kevin McGuire joins Green Lantern architect Jeremy Adams. I'm telling you right now, you can't say Green Lantern architect unless you mean John Stewart. It throws everybody off, or at least me. Say Green Lantern visionary, Green Lantern scribe, Jeremy Adams to tell the tale of Guy Gardner, personally my favorite Lantern, the United Planets Lobo, and wrestling. So we're going to get back to the wrestling that was in the Flash book by Jeremy Adams. People like that, though. Kind of think at this point I want something more serious, and I'm kind of worried it's the Hulk Hogan wrestler guy. I wish that on all these attempts that and this is like my 19th time trying to record the show. Each time I don't have that, and I still haven't gone and got the name. It's like Wham Bam Thank You Ma'am, I think is what his name is. If it's Guy's Bogus Lobo Adventure Part 1 of 3. See, people, this is what you get. It's Wham Bam Thank You Ma'am, the Hulk Hogan wrestler. Boom. That is it for DC. We're going to go to the other part of the big two, Marvel. And we're going to start with a book that I mentioned earlier, Incredible Hulk number 11, written by Philip Kennedy Johnson. A real gem. I really like Philip Kennedy Johnson. I don't think there's anything that I've run into, even online or anything, that didn't show me or tell me that he's a great guy. It's just this Hulk book needs to start doing something. The art, and I'd love to make the joke, the art is by not Nick Klein, but that would be disrespectful, so I won't do that. The art's by Danny Earls, who, if you know, he's not Nick Klein. The art's been wonky, though. Last issue I thought was a little bit, maybe I'm just used to it, but yeah, it's what it is. Cover price of $3.99. We're still in the Frozen Charlotte story, which is ridiculous. And really, Frozen Charlotte should happen in the Carolinas, not down at the Big Easy. Hulk and Charlie just end up in the Big Easy. Then Charlie just wanders off at 2 a.m. in New Orleans. That's not going to work out well. And then ends up getting grabbed by Frozen Charlotte, a villain who I really don't think anybody cares about. And this idea of a 3-parter for that villain seems way, way too extravagant for what we're getting. And I think that when we're done with Frozen Charlotte's going to be Forgotten Charlotte. And not Good Charlotte, the band, which is also Forgotten Charlotte. See, this all works out together. Whew. Here's what Hulk smashes Frozen Charlotte once and for all. Once and for all. He's never done it once. Once and for all. I guess if you do it once and do it right, it is once and for all. I guess. Frozen Charlotte, right? Hulk smash. Hulk wants to get the hell out of the story. The monstrous, ethereal, demonic, angelic, insert more crazy adjectives, Frozen Charlotte has plagued New Orleans for centuries. Oh, I get it now. You know what it is? It's a New Orleans problem. It's a Big Easy problem. Why is the Hulk dealing with it? Centuries. And it's high time, maybe tide, that happens to put a stop to it. And Hulk is just the guy to do it. I love this idea. Here's 2 stories recently with the idea of, oh my God, this has happened for so long, I need to take care of it. Doctor Strange, he had to stop that crazy role-playing game that was from the 80s. He's like, I really needed to do that. And now Frozen Charlotte. Both duds. And Hulk is just the guy to do it. Plus, Eldest makes another tempting offer to Bruce Banner. These offers from Eldest is like, come on and do it. Do what I want you to. No. All right. I'll be back with a more tempting offer. Sure, Betty will be in trouble and she'll come back and you'll have that bit. The book has to do something. And it may just be me, but when I say to you right now, if you're reading the Hulk and you're a fan, and I say, tell me really, Eldest, bringing back the Mother of Horrors, what does that really mean? What does it mean to everything? And you just tell me, it means there'll be a lot of monsters on Earth. I'm like, I'm on Twitter. I see they're already here. But even without that, you need to get a grip. I don't sit there and any point in this Incredible Hulk book do I sit and say, oh man, I think this might happen down the line. Start playing that game. Oh man, this would be cool if you have that. Because I don't really know what's going on. I don't know why I'm getting so angry. Whew. I'm fighting with myself here. I'd rather fight with myself than fight Frozen Charlotte, though. You know why I'm getting angry, and I'll tell you why. First off, I haven't slept in 2 days. That's part of the equation. That's like, 2 cups of not sleeping mixed with probably a gallon of the idea that I want to like this book again. I like Phil Kenny Johnson. I already told you he's a gem. I want to like it. And it's going down that slow nonsense route that Ben Percy's the Ghost Rider went down in the original part. Not the part where it's the hood and everybody loves it. Yeah, I want to like this book. And it was at one point the book that I thought was such an easy recommend. It's not anymore. It needs to do something, but hopefully we'll get something out of this finale of Frozen Charlotte. 3 issues for Frozen Charlotte. Whew. Symbiote Spider-Man 2099 number 2 is the next book, and it's by Peter David. Seems like this was written before his medical problems, and I really, really pray for him to have a full recovery because he seems like a nice guy, first off. I shouldn't say that I only want him to recover because I'm, pretty much selfish and want more books, but I kind of am, and I want more books from because these back in the day flashback type books that he's doing, they're really, really good. I didn't review Symbiote Spider-Man 2099 number 1 because I'm not real familiar with the 2099 universe. But I did read it, and if you remember, it was on our Best of the Week show because I did really enjoy it. Without even knowing, most of the stuff, I really had fun with it, and it made me, the best books like that are the ones that make you want to go read some of the stuff from before, and that really did. Now, with that, I'll tell you, when I get to read it, it'll actually be 2099. I have too much to read. It's not going to happen, but at least I have that inkling. I have that spark that I want to. That's good enough for me. The idea that it does make me want to read. Whew. Reading's hard. This is why this whole show has just gone down the tubes. Each time I've recorded, it's that stupid reading I have to do. But it is, again, Peter David, Roger, Antonio on Art 399. Here's the Solicit versus Venom 2099. Miguel O'Hara's oldest foe, the Venom of 2099. It's weird. I thought his oldest foe was the Venom of 2086, but I was wrong. Said 86. A little shout out to Sidney Crosby. Is back and out for blood. Not just Miguel's, but his entire company's. That means his organization, not like the company he's keeping at this point. But maybe. No one is safe while these two titans clash. In other words, it's a clash of the titans. So Miguel has no choice but to power himself up with the symbiote, the likes of which the world has never seen. I'd like it if it's because it's so goofy looking. That'd be pretty funny. Miguel's gotten what he wanted out of the deal. But what does this hostile alien organism need in return? I just want to point out I said organism, right? Don't get sexy on me. Organism. The next book, and I am looking forward to that, and I am planning on having a review on our podcast and on this channel. So look forward to that. Mark that on your calendar. Here's the next one and the last book from Marvel. I know that people will yell about this and people will tell me that they're not looking forward to it, but I hope that some people are enjoying it. It's Ultimate X-Men number 2. Should be called Most Polarizing Book in Sports Entertainment is what it should be. That's a WrestleMania Rock reference because right now, as we speak, WrestleMania is going on in Philadelphia. Ultimate X-Men number 2 is written by Pete Momoko, art by Pete Momoko, cover price Pete Momoko. That means $4.99. And here is the solicit in the book. As I know, people aren't loving it. Some people are, but the people who don't love it, they're really adamant about not liking it. But I do get it, where people want a traditional book and something like the Ultimate Spider-Man that you're getting the stuff that people have been asking for years. That's not quite what this Ultimate X-Men book. It's a book that's, manga influenced. People probably laugh that I say influenced. They'll just tell me it's straight up, but it's quirky. It's a little dark. It's a side deal. You're dealing with a school. All of this is something, and really the reasons I like it, but I have to admit that those are the reasons. And people, when they say that the reasons an X-Men shouldn't be that, I agree. Normally it shouldn't. This is the opportunity to get it. But I get that people aren't really digging it for a bunch of reasons. Now, I say that the reason why I think we're getting it like that is because you're about to reboot the X-Men universe. If you give everybody the classic, we're going to give them everything they want. I know this sounds silly because you still think that they would do it, but the idea that it might get its fingers in the pie of the reboot X-Men. So I do expect once that establishes itself a little more, that then we open up this, but I don't think it'll ever, well, at least for a while, be a quote-unquote traditional X-Men book, but I'm liking it. The Ultimate X-Men go back to school. High school, that is. Every time I read this, it reminds me of the Beverly Hillbillies theme. The Ultimate X-Men go back to school. High school, that is. It's a new school year for Hiseko as she tries to get a grasp on her new powers. I remember what I needed to get a grasp on for every new school year was the fact that I was a loser and I was not going to get any girlfriends. I came to that grip pretty quick. And each year it got a lot easier, unfortunately, where she meets a cool white-haired punk girl named May, a.k.a. Maystorm. And that's the thing. Maybe I could have had a cool nickname. Like, I'll tell you what isn't cool. Like Pee Pants. That ain't cool. Not saying that was me, but it's not cool. Who understands all too well the challenges Seiko faces, and they team up to embark on a creepy adventure to learn who is behind the creepy shadow that has been creepy haunting and creepy taunting and maybe a creeping and a creeping of them. So yeah, that whole deal where people were, guessing what that is. Is it the Shadow King? Is it something else? We'll have to see. We'll have to see how this, develops, how it expands and opens up. I'm looking forward to it. Again, I'm not saying that everybody needs to like it. It's a book that I don't think is even made to have where Marvel itself and Peach Momoko probably knows, okay, some people are going to fight back at this. She's doing her thing. Very nice lady, I hear. So I like that. But that's it for the big two. That's it for DC and Marvel. I'm going to move off to Indie, where I have a bunch of things, including this first one, Uncanny Valley, #1. This is probably my most out of left field book. I had no idea what this was, what it was, anything. The idea, though, is that I'm like, Tony Fleeks or Flex or Fleece, I recognize that name even though I can't pronounce it. Oh, that's the guy who did Stray Dogs, but most recently did Feral, which I loved. So I'm in. That's all you have to do. This is the easy formula. Write good books, and it's like the Field of Dreams. People will come. And also they'll go and get the book. See, that's sexy as well. I like Tony Fleeks as far as I'm concerned right now. Until he proves otherwise, I'll check out everything he does. And it's written by him, art by David Wachter, published by Boom Studios. It's $4.99. Oliver, it says, here's the solicit. Oliver is a seemingly typical 12-year-old boy. Now, anybody named Oliver, is bad luck, because that's what the Brady Bunch taught me, except for a mysterious family history, and also his bad luck, that seems to start and end with his mother and unexplained powers. That is, it's like, again, I don't know what these solicits are doing, but they keep making me say things like the Beverly Hillbillies, but I don't trust that cousin Oliver. Anybody who runs around that looks like a mini version of John Denver, don't trust him. He can do things other boys can't. I don't know why I was thinking in my day that would be pull-ups. Not very good at this. To the point of landing him in some trouble. Baffled by the surreal, cartoonish nature of his abilities and followed by a murder of peculiar crows, the mystery behind Oliver's family history, the mystery behind his history, finally unfolds. Written by fan favorite writer Tony Fleeks. I'm a fan favorite. Yeah, I don't mean I'm a fan. I'm a fan of his. I'm certainly not a fan favorite. Stray Dogs and Local Men, it says. He did a one-shot. And illustrated by acclaimed artist David Wachter. Punisher, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Discover what makes Oliver special and strange as he searches for his place in the world and hopefully doesn't cause a lot of bad luck. With that great, if you do know what I'm saying, just in your mind, think of that noise. It had that weird noise. That's not even a good version, but it's like a waka 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 sound when bad things were going to happen. You knew that things were going down when you heard that song. We're going to move on to Thundercats #3. The reason I put this on isn't that I'm really digging the Thundercats 1 and 2. It's that for me, I need this to hit on #3, or I might start kind of waiting for trades and things like that. I think I will continue reading it. We'll see about reviewing it and things like that. But yeah, I need this one to hit a little more. It's written by Declan Shelby with art by Drew Moss. Comes out from Dynamite Entertainment, $4.99. So funny in this where, if you're not aware, there was like the first issue of Thundercats, I believe at last count, because it's still going. It's like one of those things that the number keeps on a ticking. I think they're up to 10,385 variant covers at this point. It's like a signal sent out into space. It just keeps going, keeps adding up. Holy there. And when you have all that, they even mention it in the issue 3. They're still mentioning variant covers in the solicit. You don't need them. Come on. You're padding the numbers. As the wary Thundercats continue to explore their new home, Lion-O finds himself inexplicably drawn to Kalika. That's that new girl. She's up to no good. The beautiful and mysterious survivor of the crashed mutant ship. But Panthro and Chitara view the unfamiliar Thunderian with suspicion, and the ensuing confrontation threatens to fracture their fragile new society, leaving them vulnerable to enemies from both outside and within. When I'm reading this, I really get the idea of what, say, a Mark Hamill and Sir Alec Guinness, the problem they had when they said they were reading the Star Wars script and saying nonsense words over and over. And I'm not putting down that. That's my favorite thing ever. That's what it reminds me when I'm reading it. Drama intensifies in this third chapter of the highly anticipated new series. Works on this show then. From award-winning author Declan Shalvey, Old Dog, Hero Killer, Alien Stuff, and fan-favorite illustrator Drew Moss, Gargoyles, Dark Ages, both of whom contribute a cover for the issue along with acclaimed artists David Nakayama, Lucio Perillo, and Jay Lee and June Chung, among others. And I say others, probably names, a list the like of what you never have seen before, a list of 800 names, probably. They just keep pushing them out. But yeah, hopefully it'll be pretty good. And when I say that it's kind of like, this is my idea of I'm going to decide if I go forward with it. I'm not a lifelong Thundercats fan. If you are and you're enjoying it, okay, I get it. But I need something for me, for Jimmy Boy. And it's just kind of like just there to be there. But we'll see. Probably do a review with my Mensac. We've been enjoying it enough, but it needs to sink its talons in me like Panthro. All right, I'm talking the talk now. Here's the next one. It's a book that I said earlier that I added to my pull list because of people telling me when we did our review show, or what am I saying, the best of show. It's Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, #5. That's a messed up series. It really gets to you. I mean, it is messed up, but it's in a good way. It's really, really good. Written by Patrick Horvath, art by Patrick Horvath, cover price, Patrick Horvath. See, I have to continue this. It's $3.99. It's by IDW. And when people sit there and, you have a lot of times people get like an elevator pitch. It's that meets this, and this is obviously like Dexter meets Spaceballs is what it is to me. It's not, but it's very Dexter-like with anthropomorphic. What is it? The anthropomorphic things, and it looks so cute and it's dark. So dark. Sam's foe was quick and mighty, clever. Now Sam must skip town, maybe forever. The town doesn't trust her. They think she's the one. So Sam's on her own, and alone she must run. Oh, it's a rhyme. I didn't even realize the way that it was there. So Sam's foe is quick and mighty, clever. Now Sam must skip town, maybe forever. I can't believe I didn't know it was a rhyme. The town doesn't trust her. They think she's the one. So Sam's on her own, and alone she must run. But maybe, just maybe, she'll learn in the wild and return to that town to face the devil Jerk. Oh, child. Jerk doesn't rhyme. That wouldn't work. So that's kind of funny. It's funny that I didn't know it was a rhyme. This is rhyme. It's there. The next book on the list and the last book for this show is what I've been anticipating every time it comes out. I think everybody else has, but this has a little twist to it. And it's Transformers #7, written by Daniel Warren Johnson with art by Jorge Corona. That's a big difference. Daniel Warren Johnson no longer on art. I have actually read this issue, and just as a non-spoiler type thing, pretty darn good, and the art fits. So anybody who it's not going to be Daniel Warren Johnson art, but it is damn close. And actually, it's very impressive because I'm not a big fan of Jorge Corona, mainly from the Batgirl series is what I am familiar with. Not a big fan of it. And when I went and I got a review copy, I was very, very impressed. So there you go. You can rest assured, just everybody let out a sigh of relief that I at least think that it's pretty darn good. And I'm going to be reviewing this on the show, or on the channel. This is one of those. I ended up doing the 3 Ghost Machine books, and people were suggesting maybe do some more indie. Not that they got a ton of clicks, right? You can maybe tell your friends and family about it, maybe get it up there. But yeah, I think that I'd like to review the Transformers, and number 7 will be cool with that new art. It's $3.99 and worth every damn penny that you pull out of my cold dead hands, because I'm cheap. Who will lead the Decepticons? After last issue's shocking ending, Starscream and Soundwave battle for leadership, and the result will change the Decepticons forever. And the Autobots learn they may have more allies than they imagine. Could that be the G.I. Joes? I don't know. Jorge Corona joins Daniel Warren Johnson to begin the Energon Universe story that will have everyone talking and also gawking, because I want to rhyme, because I messed up the rhyme earlier, and also squawking. But that's it. That's it for the books that I am anticipating. Let me know what you're anticipating. And again, some of these you'll be anticipating, and it's on issue 20, and I just haven't read up until that point. So that's always the thing as well. So let me know what you're anticipating, what you think sounds cool. Maybe, you want to tell me to take a nap or something, and then I'll be a little more focused next time. But I hope that I got through this good enough. I hope that everybody, didn't get offended, had some chuckles, and now maybe pick up a new book or two. I will say that one of the best things that happens on the channel, on our podcast, anything that we do, is when people do say, oh, I got that book I wasn't going to, and I got it because of you talking about it. And it did happen a bunch with the Ghost Machine books, which I think people should at least check out each one of those number 1s and then decide if they want to go to the number 2s. But doesn't everybody eventually have to go number 2? I don't know why I had to end with that, but that is it for the show. Thanks, everybody. Let me know everything in the comments, and I'll talk to you all later.
You are all weirdos.
Weird science is the revolution. Weird science is the revolution.